since we're looking at lows, okay, this is how you back test, you study it and get your screenshots of it. If we're bullish and you're expecting it to see a rotation higher and some divergence, which would be SMT divergence, you're plotting on the low. So you're comparing the relationship of the low of ES or whatever one you're using. This would be my trading instrument. And then for NASDAQ, I'm plotting this line chart on the basis of the close. I'm sorry, on the low rather. And same thing with the Dow. You're going to do it on the low. And then squeeze it up a little bit. And you want to compare the low. Do we see a lower low here? On the NASDAQ we do. And it looks like we see a lower low on the Dow. So there's no SMT divergence there. Same thing here. Lower low, respectively. Lower low, respectively. So if we see a time when there's a lower low in your trading instrument, whether say you're trading ES or you're trading NASDAQ, when you compare the other averages against it, if you're long or wanting to go long, you want to plot this, and if it gives you a divergence, it acts as a qualifier. You can take and you will take trades without SMT. But when SMT forms or a divergence against the averages, or if you're using it against the dollar against the euro, or the pound versus the euro, which is a correlated pair SMT divergence, when you're looking at two closely correlated, which is essentially what we're doing here. This is a correlated pair SMT, but with index futures, if they were considered pairs. A correlated pair SMT divergence would be euro dollar making a lower low while pound dollar makes a higher low when dollar is bearish. That would mean dollar goes lower, and the one that makes the failed lower low, that's the relative strength leader. That was the one you would be going long in either euro or pound, whichever one makes the failed lower low. So there's a lot of measuring that goes on when I'm watching price actions. I'm allowing for this discrepancy or crack in correlation where it's expected to form. I do not look at charts. Okay, this is very important. I never look at charts for the purposes of finding an SMT divergence. Look at the lows here. We have a higher low here. We have a higher low here, but we have the lower low on Dow. See that right here? That's a divergence, that's an SMT divergence. I used to, when I was younger, when I was first dabbling into this, I would only look for it to form and trade based on that. And I had my hands handed to me. It's only when you know where the market's likely to draw to, it creates a real measure of accumulation and distribution. So I don't want you thinking that it's a magic bullet, okay, where all you have to do is look for a divergence and that's your entry. Because divergences, as you saw earlier when I was showing you the euro dollar events against the dollar index, there was a SMT divergence at the time. That would have been a qualifying thing for me to say I'm done and I wouldn't hold for the trade anymore. But you watch the dollar rotate go lower and the euro dollar make an even higher high. So I would have missed whatever that move is, and if it's even going higher, I don't know. I haven't seen it since we talked about it. But just for the purposes of SMT alone, that divergence does not mean anything. Coupled with profit taking when it meets the time of day where you should be trying to close up shop, or at least try to get the majority of your trade in real profit and not open profit, where you actually take partials and now you're booking that profit. That to me is more meaningful in the sense of using it. Or if it does form an entry with a SMT divergence at the time of day and it fits the criteria and your draw on liquidity hasn't been reached or target has been reached for yet, then it's more meaningful to use it. But being in of itself, it's useless. Okay, it has to be used at the proper context. And I see a lot of new folks that have just recently gone through some of my stuff. They're like, I don't hear you or see you talking about SMT. It's not required. It's really not. It's just one of those things that if it's there, wonderful.